Hey student, Teacher Briggs here. I'm gonna make a very casual and short video. After you finish this video, there is gonna be a video in Portuguese with some explanations of what I said here, okay? But I encourage you to watch the English version only. Anyways, back a few years ago when I was living in Boston, I had the opportunity of taking a few courses at Harvard. And while I was taking professional communication in English, I had this amazing professor. His name was, I don't remember his first name. I think it was Michael, but his last name was Murphy because we called him Mr. Murphy. And it was an incredible experience because he taught me something very important about how you teach English and how you learn English, okay? When I went to Harvard, my first thought was, well, I'm going to learn a lot of things, a lot of grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, intonation. It's going to be spectacular. I'm going to have a lot of exercises to do. It's going to be great. Well, it was great. But the way Mr. Murphy, my teacher, the way he interacted with us and the way he taught us was completely different. Because I didn't get grammar exercises, I didn't get pronunciation exercises or vocabulary exercises as I was thinking I was going to get, okay? And at first I was a little worried because I had this concept in my head that that's how you teach English to someone. And he started giving us homework, and his homework was a little bit different too. Every week he had us read something, but we chose what we wanted to read. And after we read the article or the blog post or whatever, we were supposed to write a short explanation and then a short paragraph describing our opinions and feelings about the article we read. And then when we got to class, we were supposed to describe that to our friends, to our classmates, and talk about the articles we had chosen and read while we were at home. And one day I was really curious and I decided to talk to Mr. Murphy and ask, why do you do this? Why don't you teach traditional things like grammar exercises and pronunciation tips? And he then told me, Priscilla, I don't do that because I need to help you bring English to your life. That's how you are going to learn. That's why when I tell you to read something, I don't tell you what to read. I tell you you need to read something, but you have to decide what's important for you. And then based on the things you write, based on the things you explain, I can give you some corrections and some guidance on what you can do. As per grammar, you don't need to do exercises. You need to use the grammar you study. So there are some lessons, but at the end of the day, if you don't use the grammar lessons you study, you don't learn. Exercises don't help you, but when you are reading the articles and writing about the articles, then you learn the grammar you studied. And vocabulary, hey, you're already learning because you're reading. You have to prepare yourself so that you can talk to your friends about the text as you read. After he told me that, he didn't use these exact words, of course, but I never forgot that experience because I realized that learning a language is much more than following a grammar exercise or an explanation, but it is to bring the language to your life. So my question to you today is, how do you bring English to your life? But more importantly, how do you interact with English? Because if you don't interact with the language, chances are your English speaking is not going to improve. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next email.